Creativity is 75% work and 25% serendipity, and it's that 25% that makes something amazing. It's taking advantage of that little spark that can come from anywhere.
Going back to 2014, when you first started, you were tasked with raising the production quality. How has this space and Manchester, Birmingham, Barcelona helped you to achieve that?
If you're doing a photo of a shoe, something that you're going to sell online, everything is automated. You control with a computer and already tells you where the shoe is, so it almost like crops it automatically.
Oh, okay. It started with photographic studio, out of the need with Aldi's leaflets and all of the print material that they did. It was so huge when we took that on that you couldn't find enough photographers of a standard to produce, one, the quality, and two, just the volume. In the end, we thought, well, if no one else can do it, then we're going to have to make this thing happen.
So these are some of the permanent studios, and these studios are rebuilt every 6 months. We dress it, light it, and put it here. We needed to build a delivery system around the needs of the client. It's almost like you have this orchestra, and we just orchestrate and pull what we need.
If something's happening out there, we can do something and react to it very, very quickly.
Aldi has been a brand that has been transformed. When you look at the last 10 years, in a market which is very competitive with local brands like Waitrose and Marks and Spencer's, having Aldi just being playing at the same league from a production point of view, that says a lot about how the model works creatively and executionally.
Just check everything's looking fresh, that there's nothing, no hairs or something random in there.
At this place with an art director that understands all the formats that it's going to go to, and is by being able to put these teams of people together in a different way, how you can do these.
We would definitely, a few years back, think, oh, that's too hard to do, that idea.
We didn't need to work out how we do it, we just go, can we? That's a great place for a creative person to start from, because it's just your imagination.
We come to Manchester to shoot from Subway to Premier Foods because we have this amazing studio and facility where we can very reactively shoot anything that we want very quickly.
And did you say that cropping happens
in Santiago?
In Santiago, right.
And they apply a filter, so it's adjusted to the way it needs to be adjusted. It's like this, but like these things that are semi-transparent. You need somebody to actually go through.
The bulk of advertising is based in London, and I think what McCann has kept hold of, which is really good, is these kind of regional sort of offices. But it allows you to be in touch with the nation, but still get everything you need out of London as well.
The space itself is connected to the creative department. It's as close as you can get to the creative team without literally sitting on top of each other.
When we met Sergio, it kind of reflected where we thought the industry was going to go. It's like meeting a kindred spirit, really.
5 years ago, you said to us you can make anything that we can dream of, anything we can imagine, which we thought was quite a lot of bravado. And it turns out he can make anything we can imagine.
So that's why it's important to create this environment where you have creativity, but at the same time speed, which is why everybody works very closely together. The same thing that we develop in the UK, we started spreading across Europe. It's the upgrading, it's the upscaling of our production offering across the region.
I think actually having the two kind of sides of the agency connected means that they just want to make the best idea that we can.
And I like that. I like the fact that McCann has got all of those offices, Milton Keynes, Bristol. It just makes us a better agency to service the whole of the UK.
But the talent usually comes from all over the place and all over the UK. The same way that creativity happens anywhere. What I like about this office is that it's a very different building and it's a very different setup, which appeals to a different kind of people.
Where do you think Craft and McCann will go over the next few years? How can it evolve from here?
I mean, the plan of bringing everybody together in the new office came from the results of Manchester. So London was actually following the trail that the other two offices were having.
The idea is always king, isn't it? Being able to solve a client's problem with a great idea, hopefully that no one has done before, and then from that you've got to get into the production and the making of it, and that's where McCann and Craft can work together so well, because we are together.